For the phase A ingredient, we are going to start by measuring out or weighing out the water phase. This water phase is the heated water phase, and that simply means that you need to heat this particular section just so that some actives or the actives that we're going to be adding in here can solubilize properly. Here I have disodium EDTA and I also have allantoin in here. Disodium EDTA is a chelating agent, and we need this in this formula. And over here is allantoin, which is an emollient to help with any inflammation these formula may cause. To go in and add them properly into the water phase. I'm putting this on a scale just so that I have precision. I have the exact amount of the ingredients that I'm supposed to add in the phase A. I have gotten the exact grams that I want for both of the actives, and if you notice, we still have some little left. For example, you don't want to add too much chelating agent, because too much chelating agent may even cause a speed up of oxidation. I will be using this for another formula anytime I have it. Once you add that ingredient inside it, you want to stir so well. And when you stir, you would notice that the mixture gets cloudy, and this is very much normal. If you stir really well, agitation will help dissolve the allantoin properly. But then, to make sure that you have full solubilization, you want to heat this up. The next ingredient in the same phase A that we'll be adding will be our sodium BCA. We're going to be adding this particular ingredient in here because it mimics the NMF, and the NMF means the natural moisturization factor of the skin. We are going to stir this, and then we are going to go hit this in a water bath. In this particular phase, I will be using Lotion Pro 165. Lotion Pro 165 is an amazing emulsifier because it is a self-emulsifying emulsifier. Lotion Pro 165 is one of the emulsifiers that I really like to use, especially for face use. And over here, which is the bigger and the chunkier wax that you can see, this is cetyl alcohol. Cetyl alcohol is quite bigger in size, dependent on your supplier or manufacturer, but for this particular one, it is on the bigger side. We're using cetyl alcohol here as a thickener or co-emulsifier for the Lotion Pro 165. This step is very important because even if we're going to be adding a polymeric emulsifier, we still need something that would help emulsify the oil part or the oil phase properly. So I will put in this in a bowl just to make sure that we have everything right. And we're going to be adding the oil or the lipids. The lipids are going to be capryl capric triglyceride, and also we're going to be adding cocoa caprate, cocoa caprylate or caprate, and we're going to be adding dimethicone in this formula. The next ingredient we will be going on with will be the olive squalane. Olive squalane is an amazing addition into this formula because it is non-comedogenic, it is not very greasy. If you check our website, you definitely find the full formula and the usage rate of each of these ingredients I'm adding. And if you don't have any of them readily available, just scroll down to the bottom of the page. You will find substitutions. That substitution table gives you a clue on what to use in case you don't have any of these actives that I just mentioned. Sebi plus 400 in this formula is very important because this is our polymeric emulsifier. It comes in a very white, viscous liquid. So you want to mix them all together. And the last particular ingredient in this phase will be our dimethicone. Dimethicone in creams or in emulsions are basically very much used for sensory purposes. A lot of people like to use dimethicone for formulas that are likely to soap. Soaping in skincare or in emulsion is the act of when you apply your cream and then you notice that whitish cast that keeps forming when you keep applying or when you rub the emulsion on your skin. And here we go with the oil phase ingredient. At this stage, we want to go heat this up. For the phase D ingredient, we want to make sure that we are weighing out our water. We will move on to adding the rest of our other ingredients. I will start out with adding betaine. Betaine is a very nice humectant that helps give that skin that beautiful plush feel that a lot of people like. It is responsible for hydrating your skin and giving your skin that exact feel that you have always wanted. You know that moment when you use a product and it just feels wet on the skin? Betaine is highly responsible for that. It gives you that beautiful hydration, that wet sleep. And the next ingredient that we're going to be adding in here will be ethoxyl glycol. It is highly important that you use ethoxyl glycol because it is actually really well known for enabling water-loving actives penetrate into the skin on time. And the next one we're also going to be adding to this water phase will be propanediol. If you want the full breakdown and the full formula and everything I'm doing, you want to know how much of everything I used, then quickly head over to our website. We are going to be adding plant surf E inside here, also known as Ixyl PE 9010. It's an amazing addition. It's a preservative that a lot of people like to use in their formulas because it has a broad range of pH. So let's go quickly check up on the other ingredients. Now we have both phases so that we mix and merge both of them. I will be using this mini whisk for this. When you do this, it is quite hot, but then my heat tolerance is quite high. So you may want to not hold it at the bottom because it is definitely hot. If you have a stick blender, this is the phase where you want to blend at a very high shear, just so you have the emulsion happening. The Seppi Plus 400 is going to give you that cream gel-like consistency. Now, if you notice, we already have a viscous looking cream gel. If you leave this till tomorrow, it will get thicker than this and it will look even way better than this. So we'll go ahead and add the other ingredient right now, which is going to be the next water phase. I'm going to be adding very tiny little bit of amount of hyaluronic acid in this formula because we don't want this formula to form a film. It is already a very rich moisturizer, and with the Seppi Plus 400, it will give us that film that we want. So just for us to have something that mimics the natural moisturizing factor of our skin. And the next ingredient that we will be going in with will be our glycerin, because we need to incorporate this hyaluronic acid into the formula without any issues at all. So creating a slurry would really help to get the hyaluronic acid into the formula easily. After you're done with this, you want to mix it into the next water phase. Next ingredient I'll be adding will be sodium citrate. Sodium citrate in this formula will definitely help to lock the pH. You need to keep mixing this well just so that we have a very viscous cream by tomorrow. We are going to start checking the pH of this before we introduce the peptide into the formula. Rinse your pH meter. We have a pH of 6.1. So this is quite high. We would lower the pH with our citric acid solution. So the best way to check a pH is you need to leave it to read. It will become very inconsistent at some point, but then you want to just leave it to read and to just stay there. Like, it will stay on a particular figure. You need to leave this for 24 hours, come back again and get the actual final reading. So my pH is exactly at 5.62, and this is the actual pH range that I really like it to be at. Next, we will be adding our star ingredient, which is the Nonapeptide-1. The way you add this ingredient into the formula actually do matter. You also need to make sure that you are stirring this in its right temperature. If you notice, it is sweating a little bit, and this is due to the fact that it just came out from the refrigerator. So you want to store your peptides inside your refrigerator. It is very important. So I'll be adding this right now into the mix, and then you will see how I will mix it or merge it into the formula. I would not be using high share or even medium share. So even if you're still using your whisk is still low share. You want to mix it gradually. You don't want to agitate the mixture, just so you don't break down the protein bonds holding the peptides together. So you mix it or you just fold it in. If you have an overhead stirrer, if you're making this in your lab and you have an overhead stirrer, you want to use the paddle that just mixes in low RPM. That's all you need to do when you are mixing your peptides into the formula. I'll be putting this right now in the watch glass, and we're going to be testing how it looks like, or how it feels, or how it rubs on the skin. The viscosity is this way because we just made this. But by tomorrow, we will have a more viscous product. If you notice, my hands are looking a little bit dry. This is how it feels when you try to take it out. So I'll be taking out a very little, and then we will apply this. This is how much I just applied. You see how it spreads evenly? So you want to make sure that you are putting this in an airless packaging.
And there you have it, our Brightening Peptide Cream Gel. If you enjoyed this video, do also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.